Good evening. Well, thanks for that round of applause. I'm only a tiny bit of the entertainment tonight, so please save your clapping for when it's welcome. I'm Lee Sublet. I'm the Manager of Alumni Affairs at KAUST, and it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you here tonight for our first ever KAUST Alumni Changemakers Awards ceremony.
Thank you, Lee. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. معكم عبد الرحمن باصقر قائد الشراكات والبرامج التطويرية في إدارة التقدم الوطني الاستراتيجي. أهلاً وسهلاً بكم في الحفل الأول لجوائز صناع التغيير لعام 2022 لخريجي جامعة الملك عبد الله للعلوم والتقنية. ويسرنا أنا ولي أن نقدم حفل هذا اليوم لتكريم صناع التغيير لدورهم الفعال على النطاق المحلي والدولي. Good evening, everyone. This is Abdurrahman Basagir. I'm the lead of Partnerships and Developmental Programs in the Strategic National Advancement Division. And together with Lee, we are your MCs for the first KAUST Alumni Changemakers Award ceremony. Over the next hour, we'll be celebrating 10 KAUST alumni for the impact they are making in Saudi Arabia and internationally. And we are pleased to be celebrating with you, as well as our audience live streaming from all over. Thank you.
We wish you all a wonderful evening. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our KAUST President, Tony Chan. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Salam alaikum. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you tonight to the KAUST and also to the very first Alumni Changemakers Award ceremony. It's our very first. I was talking to our provost, just sitting there. It's about time. You cannot do this too early, because then we didn't have enough alumni. You don't want to wait too long, because our alumni are starting to make great achievements. So I think this is great that we are doing it. I have a prepared speech. I will deliver it. But let me say one more thing. I've always been saying, the university's reputation, at the end of the day, is defined by the success and the reputation of its alumni. Take the most well-known institution, university that you know. Okay, so what do universities do? We do research. We educate people, and we do innovation. We create companies, okay? So for example, I'm a product of Stanford, my PhD from there. So you all know, right? So Hewlett-Packard was a graduate, is an alum. The Google founders are from there. You know the names. But I would challenge you to name 10 research results from Stanford today, because those are not as popularly accessible. I mean, it's great, okay? So at the end of the day, the reputation of a university is really depends on the alumni's reputation, what they will achieve, what great, achievement that they would have made. So I think this is my key message, okay? Alumni defines the reputation of a university. But anyway, so in that context, these awards tonight recognizes the extraordinary achievements made by our alumni so far and celebrate the impact. I think someone should proceed. Yeah, thank you. Recognize the extraordinary achievement made by alumni and celebrate the impact that they are making in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and also internationally. Now, through this Changemakers Award, which we established only this year, our goal is to communicate about and shine a light on the impact being made by our alumni. So recognition through this award is not a measure of only seniority, status, or job title. Rather, they are a celebration of sustained impact at a local, national, and international level in a range of areas of great importance to KAUST and also the Kingdom. Alumni are one of the most important members of the university community. You define us. You are our ambassadors, and you go out in the world with what you have learned and experienced at KAUST to create impact in the many different paths that you decided to take. You are thought leaders in academia, research, sustainability, entrepreneurship, and science, and many, many other aspects of life. Okay. You are role models and mentors, inspiring future students to study at KAUST. Tonight, we celebrate you all, our KAUST alumni. We have over 2,500 of you who have graduated over the past 14 years. KAUST alumni embody the values of this university. You are young, visionary, entrepreneurial, and have a strong desire to make a difference. The future belongs to you and must be shaped by you. The talent pool KAUST creates is exceptional. We have alumni working for some of the most exciting projects in Kingdom and leading transformational change in Saudi Arabia and internationally. Our graduates are contributing to giga projects, including NEOM, the Red Sea Development Company, and Shuza Island up north. Over 50% of our alumni community live, work, or continue to study in the Kingdom. That percentage is both our Saudi Arabian alumni and also our international alumni. I think the percentage of our international alumni staying in the Kingdom, if I remember, is close to 30%, which is actually quite high for any university in the world. So you might be, with such an impressive alumni community, you might wonder how we were able to select the outstanding recipients of the awardees that we see tonight. Well, it was not easy. I have to declare, I did not participate in the selection, so I'm more objective. This is not easy to do. But anyway, nomination was received from 127 alumni, and selection was made by a high-level KAUST committee. I'm very pleased to say that the Changemakers Award is now annual, even though this is the first one, and we look forward to opening the nomination process for the 2023 Alumni Changemakers on June 1st next year. Please nominate people. I'm sure you will have a chance to do that. Anyway, in closing, I would like to mention the Alumni Changemakers who we are celebrating tonight. So I'll read out their names. Ahmed Suwail. This week, Dr. Suwail returned from the US, where he was a Fulbright scholar at the University of California at Irvine. Luisa Javier, I think I said it. Grant Hill Carlthorne, whom I just met outside. He told me he's working in the UK government, which is a very interesting place to work at now, these days. Abia Al-Dokhata, Lina Ioni, Yasmin Najm, is that how you say it? Okay. Luca Passone, Yu Li, and now that we have two more that could not be here tonight physically. Aubrey Oroki. He is now working at NASA in the US. I'm sure there's some urgent mission that needs him. Okay. And the last one, whom I have met, is Jiang Pan. He is the president of our Chinese chapter, and I met him several times. He cannot travel so much because China is only now opening up, so he really cannot, and he really wants to be here, I know that. But anyway, congratulations to you all and to all the awardees. Thank you very much. Okay. So thank you to all of you for being here for what is a special and important university celebration. Have a good evening. I understand there will be a film. Okay, so thank you.
My name is Luisa Javier, and I'm CEO of Guayaquil. Guayaquil is a vision beyond dreams of what we think we can achieve to provide sustainable hygiene to more people through science.
So I'm Grant Hill-Cawthorne. I'm the librarian of the House of Commons. My modern title is Managing Director of Research and Information. When the job came up as head of the Parliamentary Office of Science and Technology in UK Parliament, it was this perfect meld of using science, explaining it to policymakers. And so we want to make sure that evidence and research is at the heart of those activities, because that is how you create social change.
I'm Ahmed Chouel, and I am a visiting Fulbright scholar at the University of California, Irvine. So I was founding engineer at SABIC. I was a founding student at KAUST. I was a founding PhD in the lab. And then I was a founding dean when I graduated in Medina. It's my hometown. It's always nice to give to your hometown. But if your hometown is the town of the beloved Prophet, then it's even dearer to the heart.
I believe that for some reason I am in the position of being a pioneer of different projects. But thanks to the knowledge I acquired in KAUST, honestly, I was able to create my first company. For us, for Guayaquil, it's important to provide that right choice to people, saying, hey, it's possible to combine efficacy with sustainability.
I still use KAUST as a very formative experience, because I started at KAUST quite early on. The first thing I did with Arnab Payne was actually design the lab itself. I wrote the original biosafety manual for KAUST. And so much of it was, I was doing a PhD, but I had to build the infrastructure in order to do that PhD.
So I decided to join the industry, having in mind that I would love to come back to academia one day. I was waiting for this opportunity. And when the king announces KAUST, the dreams came true for me. Getting a world-class education from a reputable university while being next to my family is just what I was looking for. Coming back now and get a recognition from my beloved university saying that you were an outstanding alumni, it means a lot for me. It really touches my heart. It's a big push for me to go forward and keep doing the good things I was doing.
For me, it's honestly an honor, and also to share it with KAUST, the people that I love. I believe they are also part of this. I have excellent alumni working together, and I would say it's also part of their belief, their commitment, part of this success. So it also goes to all the people that have supported.
I was very happy and honoured to be chosen as a change maker. A lot of my work has been incremental and improving upon the great work that others have done before me. KAUST was the first global community that I lived in, and it put me in a really good place to understand working with different people. Within the research and information team, we have 220 people. It makes you aware of what everyone brings to the table.
I cannot wait. I'm counting the days actually to come back to where I started and being recognized. It's really dear to my heart.
So good evening and welcome. I'm Larry Karen, and I'm the provost at KAUST. I would like to now recognize Ahmed Chouel in the category of leadership and impact. Congratulations, Ahmad.
Good evening, all. No words will help me now in really expressing what I'm feeling. In December 2010, I was graduating from the inaugural graduation ceremony. I didn't know at that time, 12 years down the road, I will be here standing again at my dearest university, recognized as an alumni who has proved to change the world. First and foremost, I would like to thank Allah the Almighty, who helped me in really doing something that impacted the world. Second, my thanks goes to my parents, my late mother, who passed away just after me getting the PhD, who teaches me, if you want to do something, do it right. If you want to do something, do an impact to people's life. And thanks also to my father, who couldn't join me today, who also teach me that being honest and being useful to the community you are living in is something very precious and is something you should really devote yourself to. Thanking my family members today who is with me, my dear wife, my beloved daughters, my beloved sons, also dear brothers and sisters, because I was away from them. I spent hours and hours away from them to achieve my passion, the passion that I get a chance to build the state-of-the-art university in my hometown, the hometown of the Prophet ﷺ in Medina. I couldn't say no. I started with very limited resources, building everything from scratch, and it was a very rewarding experience. And the final words of thanks will be to KAUST, because KAUST gave me the right tool set, the right skills, the right mentality, the right training to be able to do something useful for Medina, for Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and for the world. Thank you, KAUST.
Now we recognize Louisa Javier in the category of Research, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship. Congratulations, Louisa.
Good evening, everyone. Wow, change maker. That's a huge title. And with every title, it comes a responsibility. 13 years ago, I was founding KAUST. And this university was created to serve as a beacon of knowledge for Saudi Arabia and the world. At that time, the main driver was to create strong research foundations. So I decided to come to do my master's, and I was excited. I got to meet a new culture, new people. I even have my son here. But I felt that I really needed to go back to pursue my dream of becoming an entrepreneur. And at that time, the country was not yet ready in terms of entrepreneurship as we are seeing now. I saw KAUST born, grow, and transform. And I chose those three words with a reason. Born, grow, and transform. And the reason is because they relate to KAUST history, but also to the award I've been recognized today, that is research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. When I was in Mexico, I was starting my business there, and KAUST invited me again to be a speaker in the Winter Enrichment Program. I came back, and I was impressed, because that research foundation that I got to experience the first time I was here was translated into innovative projects. And that inspired me to continue my research and entrepreneurial background. Later on, when I decided to come back to do my PhD, I was sure about something. I wanted to become a translator. And you might say, how come a translator if I was coming to do a PhD? Well, I saw that there is this stereotype that sometimes you have to either be good at science and academia or business and industry. So I found these two worlds could communicate better between each other. So due to my business background, I decided to take the role of translator between science and entrepreneurship in the projects that I was more expert in. Later on, it was really impressed about all the impact that we were doing. So I don't know exactly who chose the category awards, but what I can see is that I'm a witness that research can be translated into innovation and entrepreneurship, but most importantly, into projects that can impact the world. Every week, I gather with my business partners in Guayaquil to see the dashboard of the impacts that we are doing in terms of the water, energy, pollution, health, and social. Just by looking at that slide every week reminds me my why and makes a commitment to continue working on to be a change maker to the world. So for me, it's time to thank KAUST first for giving me this opportunity and for really helping me translate my ideas into tangible products. Also to the KAUST Alumni Affairs for organizing this magnificent event, to my principal investigator, who really support my goals while I was doing my PhD, but also challenged me to continue being a better researcher. To my KAUST business partners. Two of them are excellent alumni also. They have really believed in me, and we're working together to achieve a vision beyond our dreams. To Guayaquil's investors, advisors, and customers that are here together, for believing that we can provide the world with more sustainable hygiene solutions. To my son, for sticking to the promise that we made of reaching our goals and our dreams. To my friends from Saudi Arabia, that became my family here, for being always in the good, bad, and wrong. You really motivate me to keep going. To my parents, my family, and friends in Mexico, that even at 15,000 kilometers away from here, I can feel your constant support, love, and care. And last but not least, to all change makers, the ones recognized today, but also those who dare to really take action into solving actual problems. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you so much.
We now recognize Grant Hill Cawthorn in the category of social impact. Congratulations, Grant.
So thank you so much for this award. But it really, I feel a bit of a fraud being the person getting this award, because the social impact and the social change that happens in UK Parliament is not done by me. It's done by the 220 people that I work with every day. Within our Westminster democracy, we have MPs who hold the government to account. They scrutinise, they debate, they monitor what the government does, and they're supported in the background by an expert number of people who work within Parliament, provide advice, provide information and analysis. So I'm very lucky because I get to lead all these people. So we have the House of Commons Library, which for over 200 years has provided expert information analysis, making sure that it's at the heart of the parliamentary democracy in the UK. We also have the Parliamentary Office of Science and Technology, which bridges research and policy and translates the findings from researchers like yourselves into language that policymakers can then use to affect change. So tonight, this isn't my award. This is an award for those 220 people who work with me every day. They answer over 17,000 questions from members of parliament in a year. They publish over 1,500 different briefings on topics covering everything from the legislation going through parliament to the topical issues and the debates of the day. So first and foremost, I give this award to them. Second, my big thank you is to all the mentors throughout my life. So I was very lucky. I was the first person in my family to go to university, and I was pushed by teachers at my secondary school to apply to Cambridge, which I otherwise would never have thought to do. Once I was in Cambridge, I completely cold emailed some very senior researchers and said, hey, can I come and work with you? And they said yes, amazingly. And they took me under their wing, and they gave me my first opportunity to do research. I approached Arnab Payne when I was in Cambridge and said, you're going to Saudi Arabia, can I come with you? And we'll start a lab. And that's how I actually ended up being here. And then, since then, all of the people that I now mentor, I try to say, there's a number of things you need as a mentor. You need to be completely open and listen. And whatever the stage in life that someone is at, listen to their ideas, take them on board. You'll probably learn something from them. You also need to give people the permission to fail. I always say, never seek permission, always seek forgiveness. And so what you need to do is create an environment for people to try and fail, but to innovate and then succeed. First and foremost, and more than anyone though, I'd like to thank my wife Kerry, who stands by me, is my support and provides me with love every day of the week, who I bounce ideas off, whether it's about global health, whether it's about changing the research landscape. And along with my son James and my daughter Lily, keep me on my toes very much and keep me grounded in the world. I'd also like to thank my family for their support over the years. So I think about KAUST, and I walked around in my very whistle-stop tour of coming here just for the day. And this is a place where you can really achieve innovation and really achieve technological and societal change. We can think of impact, particularly social impact, as one of three things. It can be instrumental. It can be changing a policy. It can be inventing something. It can be changing a practice or a service that is provided. It can be conceptual. You can actually change the way people think, the way people behave, and influence policy that way. Or it can be through capacity building, which you do every day of the week by training the next generation, training all of the 2,500 alumni that have been through this place. So I think, we can all be change makers. We can all have impact at the center of our mind when we go about our daily work of trying and failing and innovating and succeeding. And this research that we do, the work that we do, is purely the start. So we should always have impact in mind and push ahead. So really, I think we're all change makers, and I think KAUST is a really big place in order to achieve societal change. So thank you very much.
Good evening. We are very pleased to give special recognition to the following 7 alumni for their accomplishments, and we will go through them one by one. Dr. Abir Adogator is the president of Dar al-Hekma University in Jeddah. Her vision as a university president is to change lives, transform perspectives, develop our society, and prepare a brighter future for generations by graduating accomplished women, leaders, and entrepreneurs. She graduated from KAUST with a PhD in 2015 in applied mathematics and computational science, and her advisor was Professor Mariam Taus Laleg. So, Doctora. Dr. Yasmin Nejm is the Innovation Lead, Hydrogen and E-Fuels with NEOM, and is passionate about using her research to preserve the climate and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Dr. Nejm also contributes her time by giving back through volunteer leadership for the KAUST Gifted Student Program, for which she is an alumna, and other KAUST initiatives. Dr. Nejm graduated with a PhD in 2019 in Environmental Science and Engineering. Her advisor was Professor Mani Sarati, and prior to that, her MS in 2013. Dr. Nejm. Founding class alumnus Dr. Luca Passone is the co-founder, CTO, and general manager of FalconViz here in Saudi Arabia. His graduate studies in computer science and earth science were the foundation for his entrepreneurial success in 2015 when he co-founded FalconViz, one of KAUST's oldest and most successful startups. Luca graduated with a PhD in 2018 in earth science and engineering. His advisor was Professor Martin Mai, and prior to that, his MS in computer science in 2011. Dr. Passone. Dr. Lina Ayouni is the Physical Science Environmental Manager with the Red Sea Development Corporation, and the first Saudi woman to graduate with an MS in Marine Physics from King Abdulaziz University, and the first Saudi woman to graduate with a PhD in Marine Science, Oceanography from KAUST. Dr. Ayouni graduated with a PhD in 2021. Her advisor is Professor Burton Jones, and Dr. Ayouni. The remaining 3 alumni being recognized cannot be with us tonight, sadly. We do look forward to celebrating with them at another time. Jian Pan is president of KAUST Chinese Alumni Chapter. Jian has contributed his time and leadership in giving back to KAUST. In 2020, he facilitated the chapter's support to KAUST, including through a donation of 2,000 surgical masks for frontline workers at KAUST. He's a founding class alumnus. He graduated in 2011 with an MS in Environmental Science and Engineering. Professor Gary Amy was his advisor. So please, a round of applause for Jian. Dr. Yu Li is an assistant professor in computer science at the Chinese University of Hong Kong. He was named on the Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia List 2022 for work developing computational tools to identify antibiotic-resistant genes. Dr. Li received his PhD in 2020 and his master's in 2016 in computer science, and his advisor was Professor Xin Gao. Dr. Aubrey O'Rourke received her PhD in marine science from KAUST. She is a project scientist with NASA at the Kennedy Space Center in the United States. She's an advocate for young women choosing careers in science and a mentor to many current and former colleagues and several here at KAUST. Dr. O'Rourke completed her PhD in 2015 in marine science. Her advisor was Professor Christian Wulstra. That concludes the formal award part of this evening's ceremony. I'm going to hand it over to my colleagues now in a moment. But once again, I think a round of applause for all of our awardees tonight.
Well, we're back. Well, one of us is. Some of these MCs you get on campus aren't all that crash hot, are they? Well, that's been a wonderful evening. I'm taking your lines, aren't I?
I mean, what a fantastic night, to celebrate the KAUST Alumni. And we look forward to continuing the celebration over dinner.
We do. And in a sense, tonight has been a dream come true for so many of us who have worked to put together the Alumni Changemakers Awards. So thank you all very much for your help contributing to what is a night of nights. And it's not over yet, because we're going to go and have dinner soon and continue the celebrations. But as Louisa Javier so beautifully put, her congratulations to all of the change makers that we have among our student community and our alumni community. We would not be able to have an awards program like this, and this is just our first year, unless we had so much talent within our student and alumni community. So it's been a wonderful celebration with so many of our alumni. I mean, I'm a bit biased because I think all 2,534 of KAUST's alumni are indeed change makers, but tonight we only get to celebrate 10. Congratulations to you all, and I look forward to June 1, 2023, when we launch or open our nominations for next year. And who knows who will be celebrating then. So onwards to you, my friend, and then dinner.
Thank you, Lee. شكرا لي. ليلة رائعة للاحتفال بصناع التغيير في جامعة الملك عبد الله للعلوم والتقنية. Even before saying thank you, I really would like everyone here to give a big round of applause to the Alumni Affairs team and to Lee Sublette for the great efforts that they put together.
Thank you.
For making this event happen. Thank you so much, Lee, and thanks to the Alumni Affairs team and to everyone who is working behind the success of this event. So toward the end, Lee and I would like to thank everyone joining us today for this event, and we hope that everyone enjoys the rest of the evening. I would like from everyone to go to the lobby outside of the auditorium for the dinner, and we have our volunteers to...
Not everybody. If the award recipients could stay behind so we could get the photos that we didn't get of you a moment ago. So award recipients stay behind, and sorry, sir, you were saying?
So awardees will stay here for the photo, and the rest, you're more than welcome to join us in the lobby for the dinner. So نتمنى نرجو من الجميع التوجه إلى القاعة خارج المسرح لحفل العشاء بإذن الله. شكرا لحضوركم. Thank you so much again.
Thank you. Enjoy your dinner.
Yes.